Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 7 Premium German battleship Scharnhorst. She has 9 283mm guns, 6 torpedoes, 62 a defense rating, a surface detect of 15.2 kilometers top speed, 30 knots, total health 56,300. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, improved aiming accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift. For my commander, basic survivability, basic firing training, expert marksman, vigilance, and advanced firing training. We're on the map Neighbors, and why am I showing you this game? I just showed the Scharnhorst. I streamed a lot of it. This is not a stream game. That's one reason. And my internet went out. And I really like this game. It's a very interesting strategy that has to take place in order for the team to succeed. I see an enemy Kirov. He appears to be headed towards A. I see an enemy Alba. He also is appearing to head for A. There's also an enemy destroyer who is right at A. An enemy Mutski. An enemy Marblehead. Do you see a pattern? The pattern is the enemy has decided to take A. My teammate needs to bail really quickly. Kamikaze R, you're dead if you stay there, buddy. And I'm going to pull an audible already. The teammate who is taking C doesn't need me, at least right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 enemy ships, plus the aircraft carrier. He's assisting in that flank, so he must be over in that area. That's a lot of attention towards the A point, so I'm going to try and give my attention towards the enemy who happen to be moving in that direction. And I am in a position to have flanking fire. That is probably the most important thing if you're in a battleship. I mean, it really is. It's great that you can tank for your team. It's great that you can aim with your shells. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of skill once you learn how to lead, but getting in a position where you can exploit a mistake by the enemy is the real trick. And I try and fire on the enemy Kirov, and I only do 760 points of damage. Not very impressive for 4 minutes. So we're going to try again. Clearly he's moving away, Notser. The minimap dictates that. Visually it looks like he's doing that, so we're going to elevate the gun again. And the shells look pretty accurate. And we overpin again. Probably did 760. And in fact, we did. If you look, we have 1520 on the screen. So we did the exact same amount of damage. Whoa, that's just so great. Nobody has gone towards B, though. The enemy team is either bogged down or what have you. I engaged the enemy Colorado. He is also showing his side because he is trying to join up with his team. So, as the team cuts back towards B, supporting the push obviously to take B, so we have a clear advantage right off the bat, I noticed, enemy Alba. Now that Alba's pretty low, isn't he? So we're going to rotate the guns and going to see if I can have a broadside shot to finish him off. I would like that he would be killed by the friendly, but you never know, so I fire off all 3 of my gun turrets, and he's already dead. Complete waste. Enemy aircraft are incoming. Now, I don't think I sufficiently described the AA protection on this ship. It's pretty good, especially if you're top tier. It can handle itself rather well. It has a fighter that protects itself, of course, and I prefer that over the scout plane, especially after they removed the stopwatch blinking tell from the game. It is much harder to gauge where a ship might be at an extreme range, especially 10 seconds in the future. But we gauged right for the Marblehead. We got 1 Citadel for 8,300 points of damage. Not bad. I can't really complain because they're not firing on me right now. My teammates are pushing forward pretty aggressively. I am just trying to find a target that might be showing too much of their side. The Marblehead continues to take fire from a friendly. And we hit the New York barely. Almost no damage. 2,600. It could be better. Could be worse. I see an Atlanta showing a lot of his side. And the Atlanta's probably going to go 32 or 34 knots. You want to give 1.5, 1.6 lead. So I gave it to about 12 or 13. We get 6,500 points of damage. And that's not half bad. I do want a Citadel, of course. Play for the Citadel. Play for the Citadel. But, 63 is not bad. Enemy destroyer, probably not a good decision, Notser. It's not an easy shot, and you shouldn't hit it. I did hit one shell, somehow, for the overpin amount of 760. You're going to see that a lot. I don't know what they've changed, if they've changed anything, but I definitely notice a lot of overpins. And we see the enemy Marblehead might be in range at the right moment. I lead him in the direction he was headed, hoping that the shells will go all the way to the enemy, and of course he's killed by a friendly. Good job, friend. I'm really happy for you. Really happy that you were able to kill the target. And it's okay, you know, it's just a joke. It's a joke, okay? I'm happy. Enemy dive bombers going after the friendly. The friendly is aggressively pushing towards A. I'm going to aggressively assist him as quickly as I can. Not going to be aggressively sitting this game. We do almost 7,000 points of damage on the Fuso. The Fuso is somewhere in between 30 and 20 knots, so I give it about 1.25, give or take. And I get 2,000. Now, I don't think those torpedoes were meant for me. Maybe they're from an enemy destroyer that was in the area, and he was going after another target. It seems just way off, right? And indeed there is. Enemy Mutski is detected by the aircraft that was overhead. By the time my shells would be reloaded, he would no longer be within range. But the turret traverses so quick, I have time to traverse back onto another target. It feels great. You never have to make any concessions with your target selection. You can always pick the one that really works out perfectly for the moment. I only do, what, 4,600? It's okay. We avoid the incoming shells. Since it's one fire, I'm going to let it burn. I don't really care about one fire. I do intend to use my heal. And that is very important. You will take damage. At least I found in a German battleship that you take more damage on average that isn't completely devastating. You know, those big 20,000, 30,000, that just doesn't happen. You're taking a lot of 6 to 10,000 points of damage. It racks up. Don't get me wrong. It really stacks up the damage if you let it. But in the end of the day, it's not that super critical, I'm dead right now damaging shots from the enemy. Now, torpedoes can definitely do that, and I don't want that to happen. I have my torpedoes set to the closest target. I do intend to try and angle away. I do actively try and avoid every single torpedo, and the best style, I would say, you want to angle away from the torpedo squadron that will be at full strength when they reach your target. Unfortunately for my friend, the carrier didn't go for me. He went for my friend, and my friend is barely alive. I'm trying to make the Colorado not be interested in taking out my friend, but I think he's going to die. I think he's definitely going to die. He's at 238 hit points. He fires out some AP, which is a good choice. Fire that AP, especially German. When you see a target show a broadside, you're going to do massive damage. And of course he dies. I think he died to secondaries. Yeah, he did. And I'm trying to angle as quickly as I can, because now I am the Colorado's #1 priority. The torpedoes from the friendly hit the Colorado. And I think they cause a flood. I think he had to put it out. I did see it tick down a little bit. Maybe it was just a shot from a friendly. Wow, the AP all ricocheted off. That was bad. That was bad. So I switched to HE. If the target is going to commit to being angled, I am going to commit to engaging a target that is angled with HE. I also have torpedoes, but I really want to make sure I hit the target. So I send pretty far away. There's no aircraft around to detect them, at least right now. The HE does alright damage. It could be better, AP, but he's not going to let me shoot AP at him. At least not yet. So we're continuing to move forward. It looks like we have a chance at one torpedo. I think that one torpedo is going to hit him. It does, right on the nose, causes a flood, and he dies out. And I was able to use, well, I think I actually ran into the friendly husk as it was going to the bottom of the ocean. I was able to use it really quick to just stomp on a dime right there. And it sort of juked him. At least I thought it did. And I'm just trying to make sure. Well, look at what we've got here. We've got an enemy. The destroyers went to the center of the map. I will try and maybe ambush them. Maybe they don't expect me to fire. But I do intend to go after that enemy aircraft carrier. We fire HE. I switch to AP. I knew well in advance this was my intent. With a friendly scouting him out, he's at the edge of the border. Where can he go? So, it's a Japanese aircraft carrier. It's going to be relatively fast. 30 knots is about the average. I lead him, although not as much as I should have. Okay, that's fine. We have a fast rearm. I will be able to set up a near perfect shot this time, I promise. The enemy has retreated from this area. Look at them. They are all over by basically their spawn at this point. I fire at the waterline 1.5 times the distance to target. We get 12,000 points of damage. We capture the base. Enemy torpedoes. At least I expected them to come. So I'm going to try and angle against it. I am sacrificing my back gun turret. And they never do. He never actually sends them towards me. So I'm just going to continue firing at the waterline 1.5. We get another citadel. 9,100 points of damage. Not bad. I'm not complaining. Every time I get a citadel with a salvo, that's a win. I have the back gun in position. We fire and we miss just short. So I'm probably getting a little too greedy at the waterline. It's just on the edge. We get another citadel. Nice. 8,300. I check forward to my position. What is the enemy team doing? This guy is just too aggressive. You can't move forward that fast. The team just bailed on him because they saw the flank was not as safe as they would have liked. The aircraft carrier should have been maybe 3 squares away from the front, never trying to push forward too fast, just being there to take advantage of the damage. And I was looking for the double strike right there. My eyes were getting big. I was like, yeah, we're going to strike him out. Not quite. It didn't work out, but the rearm is so fast. Every second he remains in a broadside position, I can be ready to go, but he recognizes it. I fire anyway. I have the penetration to do damage, and we get the bow of the ship. He doesn't continue to turn, and I overshoot. What would have worked out better is to press C to cycle to the remaining gun turret that's full and fire from that point of view. It is important, but he just threw it away there. He just showed way too much of his side. There's no way we were going to miss that shot, and that's how the game ended. We start out going towards C, and we end up being a huge push on the other flank. And we do 103,000 points of damage, 3 kills, 5 citadels, 2,289 base XP. That's what a quick ship can do, though. It can get around the map, and that's why I really like battleships that go faster than 25 knots. Most of our damage is AP. We did hit a torpedo, which was nice. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Scharnhorst. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.